Hello guys, my name is Kim and today we're going to be doing the Q&A video that I said I would do 3 weeks ago. Yes, I am that slow, but finally I've got a chance to sit down and go through the questions that you guys have sent me and answer them. So normally I would have a new comics video out today, but because I thought this week I would get them shipped to me instead, turns out it's not that quick. Tomorrow they're going to be shipping it out, which means I may not receive it till Monday, Tuesday next week. So I thought, you know what, I'll just film this Q&A video now, and if I do get my new comics tomorrow, I will film that tomorrow. Otherwise it may be Monday, Tuesday next week. And yes, I am wearing a onesie. Please don't judge me. I know you're judging me right now. In Australia right now it is winter and it is freezing cold. It is so cold and the onesie is the only thing that keeps me warm. So I bought this recently. This is a fox onesie. Let me show you the top. Isn't it adorable? I absolutely love it. It's I mean, it's not something I would wear out and about. It's something you wear at home. Foxes are my absolute favorite animal creature on this earth. I absolutely love foxes. They're the best little things in the world and I absolutely love them, so I had to get a fox onesie. So I'm going to be wearing a fox onesie while answering these Q&A questions, so deal with it. Okay, first up is mistylaw, who asked, what is one comic book that made you the most emotional in a sad way? This is a really tough one because I got emotional in the New 52 Supergirl, rediscovering herself in that story. I got very emotional in Superman Birthright as well, towards the end, the finale. I also got a bit teary in Superman All-Star, because if you know the plot of that then you'll know why. But I think the one that takes the cake is definitely The Killing Joke, because I've recently become a huge Batgirl fan. Because it's a character I really respect, I think I would have to say The Killing Joke and what happens to Babs in it. Next question is by Brendan Cryophonic Van Der Ness. Awesome name. And he says, hey, one question, do you play games? Yes, I do. Next question is by Herb King. In a fight between Batman and Wonder Woman, who do you side with and why? How do you envision the fight going over and who would win? So, in a fight between Batman and Wonder Woman, it kind of depends because Wonder Woman doesn't overly have a big weakness, does she? So, as much as Batman's fighting techniques are just amazing, Wonder Woman was bred a warrior, so I think I would definitely have to say Wonder Woman would win this one. Though out of the two characters, I probably like Batman more. How I envision the fight going down is probably a hand-to-hand combat. I could see that happening. Mostly because Wonder Woman loves fighting, and Batman obviously is a fighter, so I think they would both put aside their stuff and have a hand-to-hand combat. I think that would be the way it would go down, or the way that I would want to see it go down. Next question is by Joel Suazo, sorry if I can't say that correctly, whose questions are, what would you do if you had Supergirl's powers for a day? And do you watch Game of Thrones? And if so, your thoughts about it. If I had Supergirl's powers for the day, honestly, I would like to say, yes, I can go out and save people and do all that, but honestly, it would probably take me a long time to get used to her powers, so I'd probably spend the whole day, like, training to use my powers, and then by then the powers are gone, so I want to say saving people, but realistically, I'd probably be just spinning around in circles in the atmosphere. And do I watch Game of Thrones? Yes, of course I watch Game of Thrones. I absolutely love it, and it is one of my favorite shows. King of the North. Next question is by Ashxx, and they said, when did you start reading comics, and have you ever considered reading manga? I started reading comics, read a few when I was younger, so about sort of 13, 14, which are ones that I borrowed off people. I didn't really start getting into collecting comics until a few years ago, so maybe like 6 months before I started this channel, I think. Which I'm not sure when that was. So it's been a couple of years since I have started collecting comics. Probably I'd say about 4 or 5 years maybe. So yeah, that's when I first started reading comics. In terms of manga, I actually, before reading, like really getting into comics, I actually read more manga. I was a huge anime manga fan. I still am. All throughout high school, I read huge amounts of manga, and in university as well. I own some manga, watch anime a bit more than I do read manga, but I've read like all the main kind of stuff, and I have a very secret guilty pleasure, and I absolutely love shoujo, anime, and manga, so I'm deep down a big girly girl, and I really love a good shoujo manga. Next question is by Kayla Geekerella. That's what I'm gonna go with. And her question is, what do you work at and what's your favorite book series, as in novels? What do I work at? I think that's asking about my job. So basically I work as a freelancer in the film and television industry. So I do a few very different things. My recent contract, I was at a television channel working on a show there. I'm basically a freelancer in the film and television industry, if that makes any sense to you at all. And what is my favorite book series? Holy moly. I have so many favorites, but I'm going to say one die-hard favorite will have to be Harry Potter. Absolutely love Harry Potter. I can't even name the amount of times that I've read through the whole series. It's definitely more than any other book in history. Has to say Harry Potter. Okay, next question is by Travis Gillette. And he says, if you could only watch one TV program for the rest of your life, what would it be? It's a close call between Charmed, because I've watched Charmed so many times and I never get sick of it, and then every sort of few years or so I just watch the whole series through. It's just so diverse and there's so much happening in it. So it would either have to be Charmed or probably Game of Thrones, because there's just never been a TV show that's actually gotten, you know, better every single season, and now they're up to like season 6 or 7, is it? Maybe 7 is next year. And it's just gotten better and better every freaking season. So I'd have to say it would have to be between those two. That is the best I can do. Next question is by Arabian, and they ask, what is your favorite Buffy season? What is the first comic book you read? And how many Funko Pops do you have? Wow. I would have to say my favorite Buffy season is season 3. I just feel like there's just so much story in that season. And my favorite character is Spike, and though he first appeared in season 2, he has a lot more to do in season 3. Everyone just seemed to be together in that season, so I'd have to say season 3. First comic book I ever read, I think it would be something like Ultimate Spider-Man. I feel like that is right. How many Funko Pops do I have? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Wait, no, 15. 16. I don't know. Next question is by Adam Stabelli, and he says, what got you into comics? What got me into comics I would probably say more Smallville. Smallville is definitely where my Superman admiration started, and that's when I became more interested in his character and in comics. But when I was 12, 13 and the first Spider-Man movie came out, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, I absolutely loved it, and I think from then I had read, after that I read like an Ultimate Spider-Man volume, I'm sure I did. So it's between those two, I'd have to say. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I could appreciate comics a bit more. So I'd probably say Smallville was more of that influence. But Spider-Man was the first one that got me into superheroes. So that was like my gateway. Next question is by Dennis M, and he says, do you like a kangaroo? Actually, yeah, I've got one out back. His name's Joey. Next question is by Go Goat Rider, and they said, what is your favorite comic of all time? Ha! I've said this so many times, but it is All-Star Superman. Next question is trying to screw with me, thank you. Abdullah Shaker says, why don't you like Green Lantern and Aquaman, and why don't you give it a chance? I just have problems with the two characters. There is a certain limit I can take with space aliens. That is why sometimes Superman comics really drive me mental, because it's just space aliens, they're being punched and hit. I'm not into space aliens that much, so I don't think I would enjoy Green Lantern. I know little bits about the character, but because he is a Green Lantern, I feel like it would be so much about that I just can't deal. And Aquaman, I think we all know why no one likes Aquaman. Realistically, I can't spend that much money on comics, and Aquaman and Green Lantern just aren't the top of that list. Okay, next question is by Rock and Rollathon, who has been a very long subscriber, so thank you so much for sticking. Question is, what is the most disappointing superhero film you have seen, and what is the most disappointing comic book you have read, aside from the New 52 Action Comics? Thank you so much, because that was immediately my answer. Well done there. Most disappointing superhero film, I think Green Lantern. I have never been able to get through that film without falling asleep or losing interest or doing something. What is the most disappointing comic I have ever read? You know what? I'm gonna go with a recent ones that I've read so far. I was really excited to pick up Spider-Man Deadpool, the Spider-Man Deadpool series where they're together, because Spider-Man and Deadpool are my favorite Marvel characters. So I thought, holy crap, nothing could go wrong with this comic, I love it. But I'm actually so far, I'm kind of disappointed with the issues. I think it's mostly, I'm just getting a headache reading it. Putting them together, I think gives me a headache. Though I love them so much, I think I'd have to say that this series is disappointing. I missed up on picking issue 4, so I have issue 5. I have 1, 2, 3, and 5. And I passed up on getting issue number 6 because I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling that comic. I mean, if you guys like it, great, but it's just, I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of my time, and it's just, if I'm getting a headache reading it, I feel like it's not for me. So that is it for all the questions this time, guys. Thank you so much for giving me these questions. I very much enjoyed answering them, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. But if you guys like this kind of video, let me know. If I get enough questions for next time, I may do another video. I don't know. We don't know what's happening with this channel. Things just happen. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this Q&A, and I will talk to you very soon. Goodbye.